Hi, it's day 29 I think, and today I'm going to be doing a risotto because it's really easy to do. It's a great thing to use as a filler or something to throw away the stuff, the veggies and so on that you have. I bought a beautiful bunch of young leeks the other day, and I bought some lovely field mushrooms and button mushrooms. So I've had this box of risotto in my cupboard and I figured this is the perfect time to use it. I'm going to add some peas to it because it just is a little bit more veggies there, which is what we need. I've got a pot of chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock, but if you can get your hands on dry mushrooms, the liquid that comes from rehydrating them is what you really need for this. This is what gives it that beautiful mushroomy flavor. It also gives different dimensions of all the different types of mushrooms that you can use. So I'm going to use chicken stock, you can use veggie stock, and then obviously the liquid that comes from the mushrooms is superb. So I've got a pot on here and I've got a big knob of butter going. And I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil. The butter is more for the flavor. And then I'm just going to let this do its thing. And then I'm going to add these mushrooms. So while those are frying, I'm just going to quickly do some garlic because I actually forgot to chop up some garlic. And I'm using only about a quarter of a cup of wine, maybe a third of a cup of wine, because that's really precious stuff at this stage. But it does really need a little bit of that for the flavor. So let me just do this garlic quickly. I finally chopped up some of these leeks and I'm just going to add them now. I didn't start with them because I want the mushrooms to really kind of break down, to give me as much of that juice as I can possibly get out of them. And then I'm going to let these two now start cooking together. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil because I'm going to need this to coat the arborio rice when it goes in. I mean, there are many different ways of doing risotto. There are people that swear by the oven baked method. I'm really happy to stand and stir it because it's kind of the way, Charlie, hush. It's kind of the way that I solve the problems of the world. You know, I go into my head and I like to be able to cook and think about things and what's going on and everything else, and good time to do my gratitude moments, and I think about what I'm really grateful for in life. So this kind of method of standing stirring it for 15-20 minutes really doesn't bother me at all. You should be getting enjoyment out of your cooking, so that's what you should look for. Right, so I'm going to now chuck in the rice. And then before I add any stock, I want it to be coated in the butter and the oil that's here, which is very good to coat all this rice in this oil because it's going to absorb all those flavors as it starts taking on stock. I've used 1.5 cups of rice. Okay. So before I add the stock, I'm just going to add this wine. Let the rice start absorbing that. Then keep your stock hot because it helps with the absorption. It doesn't, otherwise your temperature of the rice comes down too quickly and then it will impact the cooking. So if you add warm, at least warm, hot stock while you're doing this, it keeps the temperatures all even and there's no great shift in the cooking process. So just add a bit at a time, you know, it's no hard and fast rule. You don't want it to swim in it or be, you know, completely swamped by it, but you also don't want it to be too dry that the rice starts catching on the bottom of the pan. I think that, you know, the most important thing with cooking is there are always people who will know more than you and are experts in the field, but so much of cooking is common sense and experimentation and enjoyment. It's like really liking a piece of art or drinking a certain wine. You might really love a wine that is shocking avgas, but because it appeals to your taste buds, that means it's really good. So for me, the same thing is about cooking. Don't get hung up on people telling you that you're not trained or you're not doing it by the right method. That's Ponzi, that's ridiculous. That's what I loved about Martha Stewart, was that she went into an old school French kind of style of cooking, and she pared it right down. She said, no, life is too short to spend hours and hours doing all these methods. And she circumvented a lot of these traditional methods, and her stuff is amazing. So, don't be frightened to take shortcuts or try, but always use the best quality ingredients. That's the only thing that I would ever say to anybody. Because what you buy and what you cook, that is going to be your end product. That is what you're going to taste. So if you skimp on that, you will know the difference. Okay, so I'm just adding this stock as we go. I'm just going to fry off a few of these beautiful field mushrooms that I can use to garnish the plate at the end. I'm going to turn this temperature down a little bit because it's bubbling quite ferociously. At this stage I'm going to add some pepper, and I'm also going to add a bit of thyme, which is, I reckon, my favorite herb. Mushrooms and thyme and garlic, fabulous. So let that go. Once the rice is better cooked towards the end, then I will check for salt, because remember, stock is salty. Okay, this is just for garnish, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a fry off, and then use that at the end. Give this another stir because I can feel it now. It's catching on the bottom a little bit. I'm not being so attentive, this is boiling too much. A bit more stock goes in. Another stir. By adding the leeks a little bit later, instead of frying it at first, I've managed to keep that lovely fresh greenness of it, which is what I wanted. That will be echoed with the baby peas, which I never cook incidentally, even when I serve them as a vegetable. If you just run water over that to literally defrost them, that's what I like. Because then you get the impression that it is actually garden peas. Mushrooms on high heat, always. If you do mushrooms on high heat, they're not going to break down and then stew in all the liquid. So I'm smoking this plate out now. But that's just going to give me a beautiful colour on there, which I can use as garnish. And it's not going to be all limp and soggy because I've done it at a low heat where it's stewing. More stock. If I run out of stock, then I will just add some water. But there should be enough here. Right, those can just sit there and wait for the eventual plating. Give this a stir. So this has been on for, I don't know, about 10 minutes or so. Just bumping up the temperature a little bit again. As you stir risotto rice, it makes it creamy, and that's one of the things that makes risotto special, and that's why you wouldn't use a long grain white rice. You need that fat rice that is going to release that beautiful creaminess as you stir it. So risotto rice is not good for a normal rice, for with stews or whatever, because it doesn't stay fresh and fluffy and white. The whole point of it is that it breaks down like this and becomes creamy. It is supposed to also be a little bit al dente. There is supposed to be a slight bite to risotto, Again, that's entirely personal. I think the Italians will definitely say that that's what you should have, but it also needs to be creamy, and if it is stodgy in any way, then it's not right. I've grated some grana padano, which is what I've got in my fridge. It's probably a proper grana padano, not sort of a horrible one, which is like a poor man's parmesan, which I don't have in my fridge, unfortunately. So that's going to be added to this. So because I've been so schnook with the wine, I'm just going to add a little squirt of lemon because I just think that the acid balance isn't quite right. But that normally would have been because you've put in the right amount of wine to start off with. This is nearly done now. Just going to give it a couple of minutes more. Just going to taste some. Almost done. I'm going to add my grana padano, and then I'm going to stir this in. Just take this temperature right down, stir it in. So I've used about 3 cups of stock and a little bit of extra water in this, and this is 1.5 cups of arborio rice. You must be flexible with that because you don't know whether the rice is going to be the same in every packet or with every crop or whatever. So this can now go off, and I'm going to add my frozen peas to that, and then let the temperature of this defrost the peas, and then they keep that beautiful vibrant green as well. So this is the dish that has defeated most of the chefs on MasterChef Australia, and for good reason. But if you play around with it, you'll eventually get it. It becomes an easy dish once you learn what the texture should be like. And again, it's like people telling you that an omelette should be that revolting pale unbaked color, which is the traditional proper French way of doing it. I always think that things look better with color on. So that's where your personal taste is always going to influence you. I like risotto that's creamy like this. This is for me the correct texture. Any more solid than this, it's not risotto anymore. So it should be creamy and a little bit liquid without being overtly liquid. So let's serve this up. Right, there we go, beautiful creamy risotto. I'm going to put a little bit of mushroom on the top here, and then I'm going to do a few parmesan shavings, and then the decadent part of it is my favorite thing, is truffle oil. So I'm just going to do a little drizzle of truffle oil on top, and there we have it, mushroom, leek and pea risotto with a drizzle of truffle oil. So I'm going to do burritos, I think, tomorrow, because I've been told that I have to do that. So we'll see you then. Bye.